Hey guys, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Friday, March 15th. Happy Friday. Hope you're excited for the weekend and hope you're holding strong in this new asset class that is cryptocurrencies. I have some big news to share with you guys. First and foremost, this is not financial or investment advice. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Also smash the like button. Guys, we got some big news from the SEC. So they will be hosting a public forum on blockchain and digital assets in May. This is great. I'm going to give you the details, but essentially we know that the SEC has the ability to declare if a digital asset or a crypto is a security or not a security, which is very important for the adoption of those, said cryptos or digital assets, as certain institutions may not want to touch them unless they know it's not a security. The SEC also has in play the Bitcoin ETFs, so they have the ability to pass and approve a Bitcoin ETF, right? So they are a big part of what's needed. Their approval and their guidance is needed for the market to grow. They need to provide the regulatory clarity. Now, we know there's the Token Taxonomy Act, which is going to be reintroduced to Congress, which would essentially bypass the SEC and make a federal law, right? So the SEC would have to follow that, but it would position cryptos and digital assets outside of the securities laws, which are about 70 something years old and apply mostly to stocks. So the great news here, though, we are seeing that the commissioners like Hester Peirce and Robert J. Jackson Jr., even Jay Clayton, he has, they have been at crypto conferences and so forth. And we know Hester Peirce, known as Crypto Mom, and Robert J. Jackson are bullish on crypto. Robert J. Jackson Jr. even saying eventual Bitcoin ETF approval will be, I should say, it would eventually come along. So we're seeing some folks there are bullish, but we still don't have the entire SEC behind this. And it's still great to see that they're taking some steps and some strides forward to help push the narrative, push the education aspect of this, and to open up a forum to discuss crypto. So United States regulator, the SEC, has announced that it is hosting a public forum on distributed ledger technology and digital assets this May. This news was, of course, released today. They tweeted about it, and here's the official statement on their site. The forum is being organized by the agency's Strategic Hub of Innovation and Financial Technology, FinHub, and was announced in connection with the launch of FinHub last year. FinHub is committed to active engagement with market participants on new financial technologies. The forum is the second such forum to be hosted by the agency, will feature panelists from the industry and academia, and is designed to foster great communication and understanding around issues involving DLT and digital assets. So this is great. It says the forum will be held at the SEC's Washington, D.C. headquarters on May 31st and will be open to the public and webcast live via the SEC's website. So I'll be sure to remind you guys about that. They said they will be publishing the agenda and the participants in the coming weeks. So this is going to be important, and I think we got to keep our eyes and ears open for this. Let's see who's going to be attending. We're probably going to have some politicians, maybe Warren Davidson. We're probably going to have different folks, some different cryptocurrency companies, exchanges, maybe some folks from Ripple, maybe some folks from Coinbase, as we've seen those folks at Warren Davidson's event that he held last year. Even we know Coinbase and many others have been lobbying Washington, D.C. politicians. So this is a great sign, guys. This is definitely good news. It's great that they're doing these type of things. If we weren't hearing anything from them and it's being, they're keeping everything on lock and key and kind of hidden, then I would be, discouraged. But it's great to see they're making moves. And we know that last year they published a lot of ICO guidelines and so forth on the SEC website. So things are progressing slowly but surely. Obviously, I would love for things to move forward and they provide clarity and they approve a Bitcoin ETF and the market can move forward. But, these things are going to take time. As I mentioned, there's, I don't think Jay Clayton is 100% on board. I mean, maybe he's like 60% on board. We know Hester Peirce and Robert J. Jackson are definitely 100% on board. But you need to get everybody on board to get this moving, right? So some great news here, and like I said, I'll remind you guys about it, and we'll see what the agenda is for this forum. But great update here. Now, speaking of on the topic of governments and regulation of cryptocurrencies, Canada proposes a regulatory framework for crypto exchanges. So this is great. Canadian financial regulatory authorities are considering putting into place rules for crypto exchanges in the country. The Canadian Securities Administrators and the Investment Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada published a consultation paper on Thursday, seeking input from the fintech community on how regulatory requirements can be developed for crypto platforms. Here's a quote from the CEO of the regulatory organization. The emergence of digital and crypto assets continues to be a growing area of interest. And he said, we must adapt to the innovation and provide clarity to the market on how regulatory requirements might best be tailored and applied to these unique business models while maintaining investor protection. This is the same thing that's happening in the United States and many other countries, right? We saw even President Putin in Russia was telling the Russian government they need to pass regulatory clarity. Also, as we heard about the Indian Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken, had pushed the government to provide regulatory clarity. And this is a great sign. I always tell you guys, watch what the big money is doing in the governments, and things are progressing nicely, slowly. I wish it would move faster, but guys, the writing's on the wall of where we are headed, and it's great to see all these government institutions and those who are very heavily involved in traditional financial markets are now waking up to crypto, digital assets, and blockchain, and realize, hey, you need to provide regulatory clarity. What are we doing here? What are the rules? What are the regulations? What are the guardrails? And once these things are clear, it will be much easier for businesses to launch services, traditional companies to get involved, like banks and so forth. But until they provide this type of clarity, it's going to hold back the floodgates, right, guys? The floodgates is going to hold back all that water from coming through, if so to speak. But great to see that they are taking steps. And let me give you some more details here. Considering the novel features and risk of cryptos, the regulators propose applying securities laws where applicable. For instance, if cryptocurrencies are securities and or derivatives traded on an exchange, that exchange would be subject to securities and or derivatives regulatory requirements. They said mostly utility tokens have involved the distribution of securities, usually as an investment contract, they added. The agencies are of the view that crypto platforms are hybrid in nature, meaning they can perform functions of one or more market participants, including alternative trading systems, exchanges, dealers, custodians, and clearinghouses. Now, obviously, they're looking to position it the same way of the securities laws, but we know that's not ideal, but let's see how it goes, right? Let's hope there are some folks like Warren Davidson and Darren Soto in Canada and Tom Emmer and some of these other guys who put forth maybe a bill like the Token Taxonomy Act, which will look to position crypto outside of these securities laws because it does not align with these old, outdated securities laws. So progress, but let's see how this goes. And even if it doesn't go in the direction that we like, it could always be amended or updated, right? So I'm always prepared for that, okay, if it does go where in a direction where it doesn't work out as far as positioning crypto outside of securities laws, I know that eventually things could change and it could be continued lobbying and as the market grows and the education aspect grows and the big money and these institutions really pressure the government, things can change, of course. Now, moving ahead, Itbit to bring market rebates to all Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. So the exchange price war continued Thursday, as Paxos Itbit announced users will receive marker rebates of 3 basis points on all Bitcoin trades with immediate effect. The New York-based crypto exchange has been offering Ethereum rebates since last month, hoping to attract new business and increase its market share. its general manager recently told the Block. So far, he says, we have proven popular across retail and institutional and helped boost volumes, likely expecting the same traction for Bitcoin rebates. So here's their site. I personally haven't used them, but they have OTC trading. They have a lot of different services, custody services. So they're looking to be, a big player, and they're offering these rebates. So this is actually pretty cool. I've said it many times, guys, on this channel. Competition is healthy for the market. The more of these exchanges we have, it forces all these exchanges to be at least honest and give the best service. Because if they, people have alternatives. If they screw up, people have alternatives. So I think competition is important. It also is important for lowering fees and getting incentives like this. So definitely great to see competition heating up from an exchange standpoint. Now, finally, you guys know I personally hold Stellar Lumens in my portfolio. I hold Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin. I personally diversify. Stellar is in my portfolio. Well, the Stellar Foundation has appointed former Mozilla COO, Chief Operating Officer, as CEO and Executive Director. So we have been seeing, and I report on this, a lot of different talent coming from other industries and traditional finance industries like Wall Street into crypto, which is a great sign. And now we have someone obviously from Mozilla. As you guys know, Mozilla is the company that founded Firefox, the browser. Many of you are probably using that browser right now. But this is very interesting. So the Stellar Development Foundation announced the appointment of former Chief Operating Officer at IT nonprofit Mozilla, Denell Dixon, as its CEO and Executive Director. The current Executive Director and co-founder of the foundation, Jeb McCaleb, will now focus on the network protocol and adoption strategy as Chief Architect. Per the press release, during her work at Mozilla, Dixon reportedly led the company's fight for net neutrality and control over personal data. McCaleb commented in a press release stating that Dixon's advocacy for an open internet, encryption, and privacy will be indispensable to the organization, alongside her experience leading operations business and her work on policy at Mozilla. So I think this is a great pickup and win for the Stellar Foundation, given this person's history, obviously working the internet, fighting for net neutrality, building obviously different technology for the internet, including a browser like Firefox and so forth. So great win here for Stellar. But like I said, guys, that's pretty much it. Not too many news items. I would love to hear what you think. I think the big takeaway here is the SEC's public forum that they're going to have. I think these type of conversations and forums and so forth are all important because they are going to play a big part in the future of crypto and what we need, how things are going to progress as the market continues to grow and a lot of different businesses come into the market. So what do you guys think about this news? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the description. Thank you for your support, and I will talk to you all later.